Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Gamedec.
And last we left, we were on a massive cliffhanger.
Yeah.
It was a thing of beauty.
Oh, I am, I am enjoying what I can of this before it starts giving me a headache again.
Mm,
But yeah, I am going to ask what he's hiding. Restricted access. What are you trying to hide? It could be important. The man pointed at the golden plate on his desk that read Joffrey Haggis, Programming Director, Business Secrets. Now, get to work. That's actually reasonable. Um, to be honest, okay, booked up to Haggis's computer. I saw Haggis' message before my eyes. Remember, I'm monitoring everything you do. Don't do anything stupid. Look for traces of a break-in. Ran a few programs from my deck. As soon as they started scanning recent activity, I received notifications saying that I had no access. There was nothing I could do. Haggis was monitoring and restricting me as he pleased. Still, I received a huge list of external connections. Isolate unique identifiers. I activated smart filters. They didn't show anything noteworthy. I had feeling bordering on certainty that there was no break-in. The security system's design surpassed everything I had seen so far. BWI spared no expenses on safety. Checked the safeguards. Ran a few security analysis programs. Alert systems activated immediately, flashing the BWI logo. I ignored them, got a fuller understanding of the security system. I had never seen anything so complex and functional. Haggis really realized I wanted to take a look at the safeguards and allowed me to do so. Let's save this for later.
mm.
Show authorized users. Who had authorized Dex BWI secrets? Joffrey authorized my request to display the list. The screen showed two users, Joffrey Haggis and CEO John Naba. That was all Director Haggis allowed me to see. Could there be anyone else? Check local architecture. Controlled couches in the gaming room, but there was something else that ate up a lot of resources. Haggis had his own sensory world. Launched scanning apps. The virtualium space wasn't big, just a few rooms, an apartment of sorts. After a while, I got the results. Nobody was home. She had to be intentionally well hidden. Check the Diginet's activity. Very restricted external access. Her activity was limited to local data, mainly entertainment. Simple adventure games. After a while, I gained access to her logs. The most recent ones were suspiciously short. Analyzed logs. Her most recent activity was recorded just before midnight. There had been no entry since then, as if she had suddenly vanished. Without rushing, I analyzed the log structure. There couldn't have been manipulation. No one had messed with it, and it's not giving me that option that I had chosen. That I thought I would leave for later. I disconnected from the computer. Okay. Why do you mean? Oh, I should have asked the person more questions. Uh, let's see here. No signs of break-in. No one's home. Unclear logs. He was looking at stock ratings. Wasn't paying attention to me. Director Haggis, do you have anything? Talk about the previous job. How's Fredo? That case in Twisted and Perverted wasn't easy. It still haunts me. What are you talking about? Tell him about Jester. Can't you remember that freak dressed like a jester? He was the one responsible for the whole story, a nasty and disturbing figure. I don't know anything about any jester or figure, sir. Ask about the sanctuary. What is it exactly? How would you design a place for somebody you care about? Can you imagine being in such a situation? I made a place for her, an apartment with a beautiful view of the city. I also taught her how to modify it to her liking to make her happy. Talk about the Diginet. Tell me more about this Diginet. Did you know that Blue Whales Interactive is the only company in the world that can create human psyches? Diginets are the result of this procedure. They are psyches that inhabit artificial brains known as rendons. Eleonora was responsible for operating my computer. She monitored. I don't have either of these. The couches and took care of administrative issues. Sometimes we talked. Ask if he remembers you. I'll ask outright. Do you remember me? Strange question. I've never seen you before. How come he didn't recognize me? I meet hundreds of people every day. My Obicoin tracks their names and hobbies for me. No offense, but you have an indistinct face and my device has no memory of you. What about the net? You haven't seen me there. I'm pretty popular. I've got thousands of followers. Great. Let's drop this strange subject. Get back to work, Gamedec. Interesting. This is a dream. Ask about his wife. Why don't you tell me something about your wife? There's nothing to talk about. She's a fucking alcoholic. Ask if he loves her. But do you love her? What kind of question is that? Get back to your investigation. Um, Ask about the argument. When I came in here, you were arguing with your wife. What was it about? How do I? She knows about the other one about the Diginet. Strange as it might sound, she's jealous of herself. In fact, jealous of her better version, not herself. That was assuming, of course, Haggis was telling the truth. In the conversation, let's go.
So
What?
the broken thing is in the back there
Yeah.
from before.
I also kind of.
Remember,
Yeah.
if you don't get close enough to something, you can't examine it.
Right. I also want to go talk to the secretary a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the smell. There had been a stain on the floor and it smelled like similarly. Among the shards, I noticed a label, Blue Mistress. The name was embossed with gold on real paper. The words under the brand name read, From Natural Hillsides of Belize. Hollow photo posted online. The vintage was 2154. The bottle must have cost a fortune, literally. Hardly anything had changed since my last visit. I had definitely been in this office before. So not a dream. Take a close look. Yes, Director's Haggis's safe was hidden in there. Another thing I remembered well from my previous visit. Okay, let's look at you. Nope, nothing can do with that. Let's talk to Idris. Hey, where are you going? Any conclusions? Say you want to interrogate the assistant. I met your assistant in the hall. I'd like to interrogate her, and that dimwit doesn't know a thing. This matter cannot leave this room. Understood? Now go back to work. Great. I lost my chance. Okay. I never left the Tree of Knowing. I'm in a sensory world. Maybe I'm still in the Tree of Knowing, in some bizarre part of it. Is it possible I'm in a sensory world? One that's meant to resemble Rillium? Something like Brahma or Brahma itself? Is it all game? The reason it keeps disappearing is because I pushed my push to talk thing so Branwyn can hear, so you can hear, and the game doesn't like that. No signs of a break-in. I love that don't put forward any hypothesis is a hypothesis you can put forward.
Mm. See if you can check the place out more.
Yeah. Ah. Inspect the harp. Nothing. Okay. I needed to talk to Idris a little bit more to get the last clue on reality. What?
I don't know about that.
If I do share your theory, refrain from deciding. She was ice, she was kidnapped, she's in her virtualium. You're wasting my time. He stands up, and what does he do? He's going to go push the button? Oh, he just stands up and goes over there because he's upset. Oh, he's away from the computer, and I can't do anything more there. Let's see. Nothing else here. What is your theory, Brenwyn?
I think we're in a sensory world, and the AI is still in the virtualium.
That is really my guess as well. This is not a dream. That's too much. Never left the tree of knowing. Yeah, vaguely possible, but I think it's more I'm in a sensory world. I mean, this has been our theory from the beginning.
Yep.
And I think still in the virtualium.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's looking through the window, fist clinched. Mr. Haggis. He ignored me. Calm. Let's do creepy mind control stuff.
Yep.
He certainly knew a lot about programming, but he didn't wear a hef. Confident bastard, so he was vulnerable to my tricks. He was using an OB coin. Oh. The formatting errors. And the typos.
Probably deliberate.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I can see that.
The sensory world's starting to break down.
Right. A device that sent all feeds straight to his brain, no lenses, complete trust in the tech. The amygdala in his brain sent a message, there's no threat, you can relax. Modified a few parameters. His beefy cheeks dropped, his expression softened, his shoulders relaxed. His hand clenched into a fist just moments ago opened. Share your theory. I think she's in her virtualium. Maybe she's in her virtualium. I don't know why she wouldn't answer. I mean, what? She's hiding from me? Not necessarily. Maybe it's a technical issue. That makes sense. We need to check that. Enter her sanctuary and look for her. I don't know what. That's your business. You'll like it there. It's a lovely apartment. I'm giving you access. There, you can use a couch in the game. Go on, get to work. This is all very... Okay, let's look around here.
Look around the room.
Yep.
Check the helmet area,
Yeah.
the suit area.
Yeah, I was just seeing if there's anything else that opens up besides that one that it wants us to use.
Yep. No, nothing.
Yep. An 11 bits couch in full working order, the latest model, and we can't analyze it or check it out.
No.
I didn't need a suit. I wasn't planning on a long session. And did they have that? I don't remember if they had that before. Decide this is not Relium. This couldn't really be happening. I must have been in some kind of game. Take a deep breath. Repeat the sequence, managed to calm myself down a little. Suddenly I felt my couch heating up rapidly. Something's wrong. I died. Um. That was abrupt.
Hmm.
Pain was suddenly gone. I didn't feel anything. I was numb, blind, and deaf. I was just a thought. My digital body sort of disappeared. Trying to remember the order of things. Sight is last. Move your hand. Try to clench my fingers. There was no reaction. I couldn't feel my hand. It was as if I didn't have one at all. I couldn't tell where it was. If I tried to raise my arm and hit something, I wouldn't register that it had moved or been blocked. Take a deep breath. Body, if I had one, didn't move. I couldn't feel my nose, my chest, nor the air that was supposed to fill my lungs. Felt like I was hovering in a silent, spaceless void. Wondered why I had suddenly stopped feeling anything at all. In states of sensory deprivation, my brain was supposed to generate hallucinations. It seemed the most probable explanation was death in Relium, devitalization error, missing avatar is what I'm going to go with.
Mm-hmm.
Everything pointed to there being no avatar for me in this world. Usually when you entered a game, you chose a skin to put on. If that menu was absent, you used your official skin. If it happened automatically, but this world was different. It was private. Was it possible that Haggis had overlooked this tiny thing and had activated the avatar choice module for me? Excuse me. I aspirated some drink. Lovely. I couldn't open any menus and I didn't have a body. My abilities were limited to contemplating my own state. Something changed. I was shocked by the beating of my own heart. I heard a rumble of pumping blood and snapping valves. Also, this isn't sinister at all. I blinked, my eyelids fluttering like sails. I was somewhere. I definitely wasn't in Eleonora's sanctuary. Get up. Let's move around a little bit, see if I can. Oh, interesting. I really, really want to be able to zoom in, but it's not letting me. That's a helmet, isn't it?
Probably.
I love the effect here of it looks like you're denting into the surface. That's really cool. Something started emerging from what looked like a puddle. They were hands made of stone. Spherical metal object rested in them. Inspect the object. The sphere looked like some sort of metal device. It wasn't fixed to the stone hands. Instinctively opened a deck of code analyzing programs, but the list was empty. I didn't have access to them. Take a closer look at the statue. These arms belonged to a woman. Her fingers were slender and tipped with long nails. I noticed tiny veins on the back of her hands. There must have been more. I imagine the rest of the statue submerged in the liquid. Pick up the sphere? My touch activated the sphere and it flew up on its own. Its emitter switched on and displayed a silhouette resembling Eleonora. Oh, there's Eleonora. She sounded like a speaker from an ancient instructional video. I'm Eleonora's V-Ghost. I'll help you understand this place and how to find me. Take a closer look at the projection. She looked natural, but her movement seemed mechanical. If she was a V-Ghost, the psychoscan she was based on must have been of poor quality. You're in Axis Mundi, a place governed by special rules. Your programs won't work here, and you can't log out using conventional methods. The sphere in front of you is called Codebreaker. I created this program. It will open the paths of the Axis Mundi labyrinth for you. I need your permission in order to assign the program to you. Just say the word and say the word activation. Let's inspect the sphere. I wanted to use one of my analytic programs, but there was nothing in my deck. Something here was blocking it. We just got that explained. Assigning an unknown program to myself didn't seem like a good idea, but I didn't have much choice. Okay, I love the fact they said they're using one of your professions to explain that you don't have a choice, but thou must. Activation. Codebreaker has several operating modes, programs that you should adjust yourself to. It was made that way so I could only be traced by a human. You unlock each mode by acquiring an associated aspect. Aspects are one of this virtualium's mechanics. Did they seriously take the mechanics of the game into the mechanics of the game in a game?
Yeah.
Breathe deep, exhale your mouth, repeat, breathe out faster, spontaneously, close your eyes. What makes you calm? Think of it. Listen to your thoughts. Oh, I took a couple of digital breaths and allowed my inner observer to explore my thoughts as if they were new mobiles flying by. There were plenty, and each vehicle represented a different node of associations. I hadn't realized my mind was racing so much. The ghost flickered and vanished. The sphere ascended and stopped above my shoulder. I have 3 of those now. Codebreaker's light turned green and it cast a beam that generated a hollow projection. I see that it worked. Welcome back. Her face lit up with a smile as she moved naturally and freely. Her movements weren't mechanical anymore, and her eyes looked more conscious, more human. I hoped she would answer my questions. Now, the Codebreaker will allow you follow you wherever you go. You can also engage in a slightly limited conversation with me, which I will do in the next video. See you in a moment.